that Real Big Fish went live today and played 4 songs on their Instagram. Well, I should just say it's Aaron and Scott only, but how fucking cool.
Oh, right on.
That's awesome. I did not see it. I was running all day, so I didn't get a chance.
So I was at work and I got a notification on my phone, Real Big Fish is live. And I was like, wow, there's been like some news of them showing up to a Real Big Fish cover band show recently, like last weekend, and now they're live. So I wonder what's like going on there, you know? So I like real quick went on Instagram and I'm working while I'm watching the live and they went live 4 times and played 4 different songs and
Wow.
Ooh,
said nothing, just, played the songs and teased us a little bit. So
little teasers. That's
what
interesting.
are your thoughts on
Nice. Excuse me.
what are your thoughts on that? Are you a real big fish fan?
Um, I mean, I they're I'm not like a huge fan, but I appreciate what they do. It's not a band I listen to, but that much. But yeah, I mean, I like and that's great for them.
I mean, they are one of the bands that we hear the most when people are talking about who do we want to see come back and play, like Super
Yeah.
or whatever festival. Another band that we hear a lot is Assorted Jelly Beans, believe it or not. So I guess that's a
Wow.
good segue to introduce you to the show. You're here listening to Ska Talk with SKAgazine. My name is Jess. I'm here with my co-host Janice.
Hello.
And today we're talking with Wylie from Assorted Jelly Beans. We're going
Hello.
back in time a bit. Curious, if you were to go live on Instagram and play a song tomorrow, any one Assorted Jelly Beans song, what would it be?
Um, I don't know. I kind of like the rhythm. That's a fun song to play on our second record. I know it's not like I don't think it's really a crowd favorite, that album, but I like that album and I like that song a lot.
Sometimes deep cuts are good. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, like, and tell what your role is in the band, and that's
Yes, I am Wylie Johnson. I'm guitar and vocals, um, songwriter, one of the songwriters. Yeah, and nowadays I'm more getting behind the scenes, recording, mixing, stuff like that. Not our records, but maybe in the future. So that's what I'm up to.
all you can say about
Well, let's go back to the past then for a little while. Let's talk about where you started out in your musical background, and what bands influenced you early on, and why you decided on ska punk.
Um, I mean, bands have been influencing me, I guess, for a long time, but as far as like playing music, I think I started wanting to play live when I started listening to stuff like Dead Kennedys was probably the first band I was a little bit obsessed with in high school. Um, yeah, I absolutely love that band. The guitar player, it's one of my idols. East Bay Ray is amazing. And then obviously like hearing um, Operation Ivy was the one that really stuck with me. Um, as far as like playing ska punk, I was like beyond obsessed with that band for a while. And obviously you can hear like on our record, the first record anyway, it sounds similar. It's a same similar vibe. I think we were doing something else with that, but yeah, we were just kind of at least at first emulating that and then bringing in more like Ricky Falomir was very into hip hop and stuff like that and bringing in those kind of breaks into our songs. And Ricky Boyer was very like skilled bass player, and he brought a whole different angle there. He, in many ways, is the lead player in this band for our style. Um, and then started going to local shows and like $5 shows where like Voodoo Ghost Girls was playing and Guttermouth and Face to Face and Apple Core all on the same bill for like $5 and Old Nick, bands like that from way back when. Falling Sickness, those are bands that really resonated. Yeah.
$5 shows. God, I miss $5 shows.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, no Ticketmaster fees. It was nice.
Right? No Monopoly.
Sorry, what's that? I
Oh,
missed that last part.
is
Sure.
Jess muted?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe she's not talking to.
Mute it. There we go.
You're muted. I was like, wait, her lips are moving.
So in my defense, I'm trying my new Zoom P4 recorder for the first time tonight, and yeah, I hit mute on the wrong thing. Face to Face happens to be my favorite band ever.
Yeah, they
So,
were they were blew me away. I loved seeing them. And for a long time they just had a couple 7 inches. And it was just like, when are they gonna make the album? And there's all these rumors they're gonna make the album, they're gonna make the album. And I remember I wrote to Trevor, like wrote a letter, the fanboy style. I was like, dude, you guys are awesome and blah blah blah. And he actually wrote back. I was like, okay, there's something to this. Like that was cool. I was like 14 or 15, maybe 15. But yeah, I have a couple of their old 7 inches, and like I love that first record.
oh yeah.
Like that was another big influence on our first record, I'd say. The melodic bass lines and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, we incorporated some of that vibe for sure.
So I assume you started going to these $5 shows before you started playing. Is this how you all met?
I knew Ricky Boyer, the bass player, from junior high, and we met in like 8th grade. And he was new to town, and I'd only been in Riverside for 2 or 3 years, and he ended up living like a street over from me. And I'm like, hey, you want to come over and listen to records sometime? And he came over, and we just sat in my room, and I started showing him like punk bands and stuff. And then we knew Ricky Falomir later on. Like we knew of each other in junior high, but I don't think we really hung out till senior year. So, and he was kind of from a all altogether like different kind of crowd. So we joined forces, I'd say senior year.
And was this like the first band for all of you?
No, so Ricky Boyer and I didn't talk for like a year, so maybe uh junior year. And he met Ricky Falomir and our friend Manny, and they started a band that was more like shoegaze, I guess you would say, stuff like that. A band called Way to Go. And yeah, and then about a year later, we started chatting again. He's like, "Yeah, I'm playing with these guys." And then so we were kind of a four-piece for a minute. And then we also had our friend Matt Feld, who was a second guitar player for a while. So we had a couple different members. I'd say senior year and like our first year out of high school. And then that's when we became a three-piece after that, like 95. So, but we all went to the same high school and stuff.
Awesome. And you put out your first LP in 96. So what? That was like
Mhm.
right after your senior year?
Well, no, so we graduated, and then 95 we recorded it, and we were trying to get some distribution deal, and for whatever reason it wasn't working out. So that album got shelved for like a year. It was super frustrating. And then in that meantime, all these bands are coming out, and like so it was just great. But then when ours finally came out in like 96, it kind of like almost looked like we were just jumping in on the wave. But like we had recorded that album. We had actually recorded a self-produced album our senior year of high school with Izot from the Showcase Theater. He financed the everything, and then we were about to put it out, and then the Vandals came along and sort of bought us out of that, and we re-recorded it. I wish I had a copy of that though. It was a super cool recording. No real production, just us
And nobody had.
doing the album. It's somewhere out there on tape. I know Izot had it. I don't know how to get a hold of it, but anyway, I would love to hear that again someday. That was fun. We had all our friends in the studio. He snuck us in a 12-pack of beer. We were like 17 or something. I don't know. It was pretty thrilling. We were in a studio drinking beer. Um, Anyway, that was pretty funny.
Why don't you find it one day? You never
Say again?
find it one day.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
Where did the name Assorted Jelly Beans come from?
Um, I guess me. Like I said, I was a big Dead Kennedys fan. I liked their Alternative Tentacles album. I liked the idea of alternative this and that, you know. So I was like, oh, alternative jelly beans. I'm like, oh, that sounds weird. And I was like, assorted jelly beans, because we had so many different styles of music that we wanted to play. I mean, when we first got together, it was like a shitty cover band almost. We were just doing all kinds of styles of music. I mean, it was originals, but you would think we were like a random cover band. So like the whole idea was all different genres, all different styles and flavors. You know, when you're that age, everything has meaning and is symbolic. So we're like assorted jelly beans. I don't think everyone really loved the name at first, but like started coming around to it.
So,
So,
I think it's great. I love the meaning behind it.
oh, yeah.
There's so many bands who are just like, we thought the word sounded cool.
yeah.
So I'm always happy when there's more to it.
There's a lot of bad band names, especially at that point in time. Jeez, real rough stuff back then. Like Fuck Face, I think was a band. That was one I remember that stuck out. Like, wow, your parents are gonna see that. That's interesting.
Right.
Okay. um. So yeah, there's that.
So you also have a song called Assorted Jelly Beans. We do a little segment called Brain on Ska where we like to jump into the lyrics and the meaning behind the songs.
Hmm.
I know we're going back in time, but were you the primary writer of the songs on the first album?
I wrote a lot of them. Like I had a vision, kind of sounds cheesy, but I had an idea of what the band was going to do and like what I wanted to do. So a lot of times I would come to practice with the song done, with lyrics, a lot of those songs. But that song in particular, me and Ricky Boyer were walking, leaving his house, going, I don't know if we were going to school or going somewhere. And all of a sudden we just were like, oh man, I got an idea for song lyrics. And we ran to my house and wrote those down. I remember that specifically, that song. You know, they're all pretty tongue in cheek.
Right.
But they meant a lot back then, and it still, you know, has meaning. But it's very like, you know, basic bitch, but it's fine. I stand by it.
How about Brain Dead? Did you write that one?
Um, yeah, yes. And
Any
then
inspiration behind that?
say again.
Any inspiration behind that you want to talk about?
You know, just being a punk ass, just like kind of talking shit. We had a lot of like crazy ego and confidence back then, and so we were just full throttle, just going for it. But yeah, then like a song like No Time, Ricky Falmer wrote those lyrics. And Ricky Fitness, sorry, whatever you know him by. And then he also did Eighth Grade Nerd, the lyrics to those. Um, and then all three of us did the song In Our Eyes. It was so vague. It was about smoking weed, but our whole thing was like, let's talk about it without actually directly mentioning it. Let's just hint at it heavily. So we all had to, you know, we were really into the Beastie Boys, so we were doing like a Beastie Boys approach to the vocals. And we all would come up with a stupid line and throw it in there. So
I mean, it sounds good because there's
yeah.
bands where it's just one person writing everything and everyone else is just playing. So it's nice to collaborate like that, you know?
So like I would say my strength is this being the songwriter first. I was pretty bad at guitar, but those two were really great. Ricky Fallon was quickly becoming a good drummer, and Ricky Boyer was already a good bass player. And so that was their strength. So they would jam a lot, and I would like try to chime in. But like my strength, I guess, was writing, just seeing the whole bigger picture of like where this should go. What's the idea? What are we doing?
Well, another song that I had on the list to ask you about, and somebody just mentioned in the chat also was Rebel Yell from the your first EP, I guess it was. But it was
Oh,
also
yeah,
on,
that's from the second record,
yeah, it was on Tony Hawk's right?
Underground One, I think.
How did that happen? Did you have to like submit to be on that? Did somebody find you?
Somebody apparently found us. Um, back in the day where you could make something cool and someone would seek you out. I guess I just got a call saying we were on it. That was at a point where we weren't really a functioning band when that song got on the video game. So I don't know all the details, but somebody clearly got a hold of Kung Fu or something. I don't know the whole story, but I was pretty stoked. I mean, that's huge. We all played that game. We were all pretty heavy skaters at the time. We all skated. Ricky still skates, Ricky Boyer. So that was a huge accomplishment. That was cool. And it was like, I think Motorhead was on that and like The Clash. So it was like, fuck, this is amazing.
They didn't send you a copy of it, huh?
Yeah, that's another one where I had that game and then I lost it. So I need to find another copy of that.
So the person who mentioned in chat, his name's Sal, he says that he loved the song, but he couldn't understand the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the lyrics? Could you sing it like to this day if you wanted to?
Yeah, I still know the song, but I'm not gonna sing it right now.
Just sing now. No.
I don't have that kind of confidence. It's like guitar, then vocals in that order for me. I'm not really a great.
Was there a message behind it that you could relay without singing it?
I mean, yeah, the song is about. At that time, there was a lot of bands blowing up. It was a little bit of a hater song on my end. I was just seeing a lot of bands that I was like, oh, okay, these guys are huge already, or this is happening. And looking back, I mean, they're busting their ass. But at the time, I was just like, oh man, this is just like everyone's coming out of the woodwork and getting signed, and like, I didn't feel like everyone had a lot to say, and like there they were just screaming in your face. So I was just like, okay, well, that's kind of what this was about. And then obviously it was a play on the Billy Idol song, so but it wasn't anything to do with that song. But it was like rebel yell. You got the rebel yell, but you're not really saying anything, that kind of thing. And I'm sure people could say the same for us, but that was just my perspective on what was happening at the time. This was like the late 90s, like, well, 97, 98. So.
Well, that's it for Brain on Ska, Janice.
Okay, so we are going to move on to shows. Do you remember your first show?
Yes. We had just started practicing, and we practiced at the Voodoo Ghost Skulls record store they had at the time called Cheap Guy. And I think Eddie heard us, and he was like, hey man, we're having a show. I think it was that week, like this weekend, if you guys want to open or something. I'm like, oh fuck, okay. But that's like that sink or swim moment, or like, fuck, we're just gonna do it. And we did it. And yeah, we played, it was a record store, no stage. I mean, the crowd's like 2 feet away from you. Everyone's on the same level, literally. And excuse me. And then, yeah, we were so nervous and stoked and excited. I think we had our heads down most of the time. But like, I think the last song, our friend started like a mercy pit for us and started slamming and got the crowd going. So we ended on a high note, and it was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. It was like such a rush. Like, it was just, that's, I guess, where I got hooked.
I wish
this is what I want to do. Like, this is amazing.
It's great to have friends like that too, who will get in there and start something up.
Yeah, it was super cool. Our friend Jello. Yep, I will not forget that day.
I wonder
how long.
What's that?
I wonder if Eddie remembers that day. We just talked to him last week. I wish I would have known this.
I saw that, yeah.
We are actually speaking to him again this weekend at the festival, perhaps. So
Okay.
I ask if he remembers that show.
Yeah, it was like us and I think the Knuckle Brothers, and I don't remember who else, but I think a bunch of bands that don't really exist anymore. But yeah, we were the first band. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, those guys helped us out a ton, and that was like the first time.
Pretty cool for the first show.
Yeah, I mean, that's who they are. They're people that help other bands and help the scene. So super cool, super grateful.
How long had you guys been playing together before that show? Like just a couple rehearsals, or you were playing for a
Yeah,
while?
I think like how long? Because we're still in school, so I don't maybe a month or two at the most. Because we
Wow.
kept getting the cops called on us in the garage, and they were, they were always pretty cool. They're like, you guys sound all right, but you're just too loud. So we were bouncing around, and we're like, all right, well, let's try that record store. So yeah,
That's very cool. It's cool that they let you have a practice space there. It's nice to have a place to go.
yeah, yep.
Right. What about your first tour? First time out on the road?
First tour was with the Vandals and the Suicide Machines. And
Wow.
yeah, that was
Wow.
that was another like that was another one of those moments. I was like, oh man, I'll remember this forever. It was super cool.
What year was that?
That would have been, I think, 96.
So like right when Destruction by Definition came out, huh?
Yeah, and our record came out as well. Yeah, and so we were both supporting our records, and I think the Vandals had just put out Live Fast Diarrhea. And so like we were all fresh, and like that was the Vandals like at their absolute prime. Like they were just unstoppable. Like when Josh was playing more of the shows with them,
Hmm.
it was just wild stuff. They were wild every night, and then Suicide Machines were just badass. They had that like that real connection with their fans,
Yeah,
more than we did. Like we were a little like I don't know punks about it. We weren't as I don't know how to describe it, but they were very into their fans, and their fans were very into them. It's like when you see a band like a Veil or something, and they're just like all part of the scene, and they're all there, and
and they still
it's
are like they're great.
yeah.
I mean, Jay has been really great to my family, even so. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
right at.
we're gonna actually we're gonna play with them in August. We have a show, our first show since 2018. It'll be us and them at the Nile in Phoenix.
In Phoenix, huh?
So if you feel like doing a long ass drive, we're playing there,
Oh,
That's pretty sick.
and then we're playing with them in Detroit
No,
in December for their like that'll be a huge show. Their hometown. I don't know if it's St. Andrews. I'm assuming it is, but it
that
because
go off.
they'll be playing that record, and I think we've decided we're gonna play our first record for the Detroit show all the way through
Oh, that's pretty sick.
because we're only gonna get like a half hour set, and our album's about a half hour, so it'll be real hard for us to not.
Has it
Well, for me,
already? Did you forget you were live?
what's that?
Has this been announced already?
Um, Not officially. Phoenix is for sure. Detroit is still getting worked out. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but I'm saying it. I
Fuck
don't
it.
think. But yeah, so it's official. Phoenix is officially
mhm.
happening.
Nice.
It'll be
And
in
Oh,
August, so everyone can get heat stroke and watch us play.
woohoo.
Yeah, that sounds good, huh?
I mean, that sounds like a great time. Great time. So,
I'm excited. It'll actually be at the first show we played on our first tour with them 30 years ago, so it'll be kind of a neat little thing. That was the first show we played out of California, was at the Nile.
who is going to be drumming for you now?
So we have our friend Danny De Leon. He's in a bunch of bands. He back in the day he was in a band called Knuckle Sandwich that was a Riverside kind of ska punk band. And he's all over the place. He was in a band called the Soft Kill, I think is the title of it, or that band. He's just awesome, dude. I went out like a month ago, and we all got together and practiced, and we saw the 60 Miles East. We went and checked that out. It was sort of a test run with him. It was the first time we'd played together, but it went really well. And we just kind of float around. Like Ricky does Aquabat stuff, and sometimes we get together, and then sometimes we just try out other drummers.
Hmm.
Kind of a revolving thing.
Right.
But yeah,
So we
that's
might
this is a pretty fun interview.
It is. I mean,
Okay.
suicide machines are my
I
favorite.
don't know if I'm fun to interview, but here
I
we
mean,
go.
I mean, that's exciting.
made my night because I have a lot of family and friends in Detroit, and the Suicide Machines are like my favorite ska punk band, and I plan on being there.
They're probably mine too.
That'd be so awesome. Like Face to Face is my favorite band, but the Suicide Machines are like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, yeah, I go to see
I
them often. I think I'm going to see them like 4 times on their next tour.
yeah. Yeah, I think I said this before. I did one other interview last year, but I think the first time on that tour when I saw Suicide Machines play was the first time I was like, damn. I was like, these guys are a little better than us. I was like, it was gnarly. It was like very humbling. And like they were just doing something so bold and just it was like similar to Op Ivy, but they had enough of their own sound in it where it was very much their own. I remember that feeling very, very clearly. Sorry, I'm a little sick.
Oh, that sucks. We could have postponed.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm not like at the tail end of it. It's just the annoying part. The cough.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we are we're starting to line up more shows. It's tricky because I live in Pittsburgh now, so it's a lot of remote, you know,
Everyone else is out
stuff.
in California still?
Mm-hmm.
How about
Um,
Philly?
Yeah. I mean, if you ever need help,
What are the odds?
oh, you guys are in Philly?
I'm in Philly. She's in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
We live
Yeah,
in Philly.
we're in the other Pittsburgh state
Yeah.
or city.
Hopefully you're not a
The other
penguin.
Pennsylvania city. Jesus. So you know what I'm trying to say. I haven't been to Philly in a long time.
No better time than now.
Yeah.
We're actually, I mentioned we're going to a festival this weekend that we sponsor and do interviews at. This is not Croydon Fest. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No, but I've seen it all over your
Oh, of
Instagram.
course you have. It is my favorite ska festival. Like Supernova is great. I love Supernova, but that's like big and outside. This is at a brewery and it's a legit music venue, like club show festival. And I
Mhm.
love club shows. So I'm really excited. This is like the 7th year it's happening.
Okay,
It's the best weekend of the whole entire year. So we're
that's
kicking
awesome.
off with you tonight because I had my last day of work today and I am on my vacation now and we're starting our ska stuff tonight with you.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's a cool festival. I know for a fact they've been interested in bringing you here because I talked to the founder of it today. And he's like, you might want to mention that. Not
Okay.
obviously. Although if you
Yeah,
show,
that'd be cool.
sure you would not be pushed away.
I feel like every time after the festival, they ask online, who do you want to see next year? And Assorted Jelly Beans always comes up repeatedly every year. So that would be amazing.
That's
Lots of people
awesome.
would be happy.
And I had multiple people mention today that they would love to see it Supernova. So I don't know if that's too late for this year or whatever, but the demand is out there.
Supernova, where's that?
Oh, Supernova is the biggest ska fest in the country. It's on the beach in Virginia, a place
Oh, okay.
around, and it's amazing. It's just
That'd
a
be cool.
big
I'm a little out of the loop, so I'm
I
what is that? Some kind of festival concert? Yeah, well, that would be rad.
mean, you haven't heard from them yet? I'm gonna have to talk to them.
Well, I was actually just talking to our booking agent today and telling him that we should start submitting to more festivals because it's like it's doable with the distance between all of us. You know, it's not a huge time commitment, so that would be pretty sweet. I mean, it like, genuinely still blows my mind that people remember us and want to see us. So that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, there's something about I don't know, nostalgia and going back to your youth and the music you grew up with, and you know,
Hmm.
people are all about it.
Yeah, I understand for sure.
And to
And
have
you
like
guys were
station is like crazy. There's so many bands from back there that some back in the 90s that are not around that we still listen to.
Mhm.
Like the Ready Men's a big one for me.
Who is it?
Ready Men from Oregon, I guess.
Okay.
They were also like very influenced by Operation Ivy. You would
Yeah.
like, sure. I highly recommend you listen to them actually, even though they're not around anymore.
Okay. Um, yeah. Do you remember the Blue Meanies? Did you ever used to listen to them? They were kind of different. I
They
think they were
had a
from
they put
Chicago.
yeah, they put a post up the other day or something.
They're kind of a trippy sound. They were cool.
Some kind of tease post, you know.
Hmm. I know a lot of bands are coming back now. I'm like I like playing these old songs and stuff, and they're fine. But I'm ready to move forward. Like I'm already working on new music
But yeah,
ideas.
and you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean I don't have anything solid yet, but I was just playing something today. And like it felt good. It felt like it sounds like who we are, but also who I am right now. So what I don't want to do is make something like make our first record again or like just kind of go through that whole thing. But people want to hear that, so there's like a fine balance, I'd say, when you're writing songs. But
So you're referring to
we'll
new
figure it out, you know.
Assorted
See
Jelly
what-
Beans new music. I was referring to your other band, Shock Brace.
Oh yeah, shit. Yes, that one I'm really excited about. That's who I am now, obviously. Yeah, it's not, it's not going to be for everyone, especially if they're used to Assorted Jelly Beans. But you can, if you listen to it, you really listen to it, you can hear like there's still that that influence there. But yeah, it's like everything. I guess it's everything I got into after Assorted Jelly Beans. It was like from that era, but then there's a lot of like electro kind of stuff and like reggae and dub and almost like gothic kind of stuff happening there. So that's a fun one. And we're not on a label. No one expects anything, so we can just take our time and make what we want, which is cool because that can suck. Which is what I think happened with our second record for Assorted Jelly Beans. Having to like recreate that again. But yeah, I think moving forward there'll be some new music, hopefully soonish. I'm trying to get everyone on board with like, you know, digital recording and sending tracks to each other. So anyways, yeah, that's what we got going on.
So we got new music,
Super
we got
excited.
shows that are already planned and potential shows other places.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what everybody wants to hear, honestly. I think you just
Right?
whoever's here right now, you made their night.
Perfect. And you're all going to be rich too.
Oh shit, cool.
I'm just making promises tonight.
It's fine. It's fine. You can lie to us. It's all right. We're used to it. I wanted to ask how you guys connected with the Vandals in the first place to go on their tour and all that stuff.
We played a show with them at the showcase, and I think that's where the spark happened or whatever, where they noticed us. Maybe they had noticed us before. I don't know, but that's like another story where I had my jaw broken and my mouth wired shut, and but I did not want to miss that show, so we we played that show anyway, and I had to sing with my mouth wired shut. So I think that's what did it. They kind of like
Was that even possible?
freak show kind of shit, and I must have looked like the biggest just spaz on the planet up there. I don't know. I guess you're not allowed to say spaz, but I must have looked like something from like a David Lynch movie or something because I was screaming with my mouth shut. So that probably got their attention. But yeah, that was the first time we played together, and then shortly after, they got in touch with us, and then yeah, we recorded.
Very cool. They're a couple of characters. I've seen them a few times, and they're always just so entertaining and insane on stage.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a good time. I haven't seen them in a long time.
We just saw them when did they play the Final No Effects shows, I believe, and
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania a couple years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that, but it was like on the other side of the state. So
Oh yeah, it's worth it. I
yeah.
had is headlining this year.
What's that?
Face to Face is going to be headlining Saturday night this year.
Oh, cool.
So it's a great festival. It's the most DIY festival I've ever been to, but yet absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they have the four chord fest here, which is kind of neat. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I came out in 2002, no, maybe 2003, I guess. Whatever year Face to Face and Alkaline Trio and Streetlight played, I was there that year.
Okay. I went, I think 2 or 3 years ago when Descendants were headlining.
Is it still in like a baseball stadium?
Yeah, it looks like a kid's baseball
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
League. Yeah.
It's a strange location. I remember rolling up and being like, really? This is it? But they pulled it off.
Yeah, the parking was really strange if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was a fun one.
No Effects actually had a show similar to that stadium in like Massachusetts somewhere. And it was
Hmm.
like, oh, is this like a thing? They're using like minor league baseball stadiums for shows. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jawbreaker played last year. I missed it, but that would have been cool.
Yeah. Are there any festivals that you have in mind that you want to play?
Um, Not really. I mean, just whatever's clever. I mean, Riot Fest would be cool. There was talk of submitting to that, but I don't know what that's like.
Right.
It seems like almost a similar Coachella-y vibe. So, but that would be nice.
Yeah, I haven't,
Just to like geek out and see all the other bands. But
of course. I haven't gone to that one. It's a little bit too big for me.
yeah, it seems like a lot. I don't know. But I guess like one of these little nostalgia fests would be where we'd probably do well right now since we're just playing the ancient hits. So
Yeah.
I would probably start off with something like that. But like I said, my goal is to make new music. It's always my goal. And we have a lot of old new songs that were never released.
Hmm.
We have songs from like the early 2000s that were going to be on our third record that never happened. And then we got back together in 2008 and started writing new songs. There's a couple from that era. So there's like all these eras of Assorted Jelly Beans that will be on this next record when it happens. And then the stuff we're writing today. So
Looking.
yeah, I would like to put out a big album with a lot of stuff on it. And maybe not have 25 years between records next time. So
And you're gonna want to do this yourself, not on the label, is what you said, right?
I think that's probably what we would do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm up for whatever. But like I said, we're just like this is the very beginning stages here.
We have Rock to Broadway in the chat asking what your favorite style of venue is.
Um, Something like I don't know, it just depends. Like I love the ones that are like there's no stage sometimes, or it's a tiny stage, like in a basement, but then like something like I don't know if you guys know the Palace in Hollywood, that's a good size one. Or like the Showcase. The Showcase Theater was pretty awesome. I would rather have a packed, intimate, kind of gnarly vibe like that than some spread out larger venue or something. I don't know if that answers the question, but
Yeah.
that size, I guess, that showcase kind of size is kind of fun. Just a big pile of people.
Yeah, the festival we go to this weekend is like 650 cap, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a big enough venue, but it's not so big that you're not like right there at the stage. There's no barricades. Like it's awesome.
Mhm. Nice.
Where
Yeah,
we're
the big
And it's
barricades suck. Um,
they do,
yeah, it's not fun.
especially when they're like, I don't know, so far away from the stage. I don't even know how far. Like, damn,
Unless
it's
I
just
mean, the really cool shows, everyone just kind of policed themselves, like it was an understanding. If someone was a dipshit, they would just get ejected and people would just shut them out. But
yeah. When you have bands like the Suicide Machines, where Jay is always like down on the barricade, like, you know, even if there's space, he always makes sure to cross that bridge and get to the crowd and connect with people. But it's nicer when they don't have to do that, when you're just right there.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
good that he does that. You know, that's like what people want to see. You know.
And he's lucky that he can do that because he doesn't have an instrument. So not
Yeah.
everyone can do that.
No, it's good because, like, you know, there'll always be the people like, oh, they're just gonna stay up there on the stage and blame the band for the barricade or something. It's a way of a band saying, look, this sucks, but here we are. We're not too
Right.
good. That's how I take it. But what else?
I don't know where
So,
we are on the fat line.
well, since you mentioned the comeback in 2008, I was going to ask, like, when you got back together, was it a different lineup, same lineup? How long, you know,
It
what
was
did you do at that point?
it was the original lineup. Like, we hadn't all talked in a while, so it was really cool. It was, you know, it was pretty emotional. It sounds cheesy, but it was like pretty heavy, and we were all stoked to be back in each other's lives. Ricky Fowler kind of made that one all happen. He got us all back together. And so it was the original lineup for one show. I think it was a Mission Tobacco Lounge in Riverside. And then he got busy. He played drums with like the Agrolites for, I don't know, he was gone like 6 months. We really didn't know where he was. I hadn't talked to him. So we got our friend Mike after that. And he played drums for a few years. And then it was just him and Ricky off and on. We would just alternate. But it's two different, you know, very different styles. Our friend Mike Garrett, he's very punk, likes playing as fast as possible, so it was like a real workout. And then Ricky is a little more funky and likes, you know, mix it up. So they're both fun. But yeah, that was like 2008 era. And then like 2010, we got on a Warp tour, a few dates there. I was living in Santa Cruz at the time, so that was kind of neat. We went up north. We played the Gorge in Washington, which I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's like playing on the edge of the Grand Canyon. It's insane. That was really
That sounds
neat.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that was rad. Um, Guar was on the stage with us. I think that was pretty fun. And,
I love them.
Everclear for some reason. I was like, you know, that's fine. They had their moment, but they seem like fine people. But yeah, they were. It was random. Was my point. There's a lot of random bands.
Yeah, quite the mix.
Yeah.
Did you know one of the founding members of Guar is actually in a ska band today
Okay, I could see that.
in Australia? The Red
Nothing would really surprise me about that band. So
is a good friend of ours.
awesome.
Yeah, he went from Guar to being ska.
Okay.
Find it interesting.
Yeah. Eventually, they all go ska.
Oh, we have somebody joining us from Colombia,
Oh,
thanking us for
okay.
bringing you on. So say hello.
Hello.
All right.
Um,
Oh, do you want to do shenanigans?
Can I do something else first?
Okay.
I want to know, what have you been doing since you were active with Assorted Jelly Beans per se? Have you still been writing music for other projects, for yourself? Like,
well, for a few years, I did nothing musically. Um,
wow.
it was kind of a shitty period. Not my favorite memories there. Um, you know, your band falls apart, things kind of fell apart. It wasn't a great time. But like 2008, well, I got into a cool job, blah blah blah, and met some people, got back into music a little bit. But then 2008, we started playing again. But that's kind of, you know, that fizzled after a while. And I met my friend Chad in Colorado, and that's when we started the Shock Brace thing. But like since then, I've been doing music for that band, and then he's making a documentary about the punk scene in Richmond, Virginia in the 90s. And it's called Salad Nights,
Hmm.
you know. So there's that, and I'm doing like the whole score for that, I guess you would say, like all the music for it. which was interesting because I haven't seen a single frame of it, so I just had to kind of create this vibe for the film, and so I've been doing that for 2 years now, and we're just about finished up, and he's editing it, but that'll be coming out soon. And I've done some music for my wife's company for like Dick's Sporting Goods. That was interesting because that is not something I would seek out or ever think I would do. And it's definitely, I know it does not sound cool, but it was a challenge to, I mean, the first stuff I gave them, they were like, Jesus Christ, tone it down a little bit. Um, and so like holding back and like finding a balance where you're still being yourself, but then making something that is going to work was interesting. But then I got the hang of that. That was kind of neat. So I'm trying to get into that side of it. Like I would love to do more stuff like documentaries or movies or whatever. Like I got a whole setup in here for like sound. So I've got like vintage synthesizers and samplers and all kinds of gear here. So I'm always into something. But now like I don't know. I've become obsessed. Like I play music every single day, even if it's just like 5 minutes, I'll pick up my guitar. But so to answer your question, a little bit of all that stuff. And then I have a family and stuff, have kids, and I've moved a lot. So I've had about 80 jobs. So I just kind of bounce around.
Have any of your kids picked up on music?
Yeah. Yeah, they both love music. I was just the reason I was late tonight was my son was at piano practice.
Say that. That's great. Yeah.
So he's getting into that. It's another instance where I gotta just like bite my tongue because I'm like, I know what it is. I know what the answer is. I know what the answer is. Oh, pick me, pick me. But they're 7, so yeah. So hopefully he wants to stick with it. But yeah, they'll come home from school and jump on the drums and stuff. My daughter's 3, she'll bang on the drums. She's pretty good.
That's awesome. My son started playing when he was 3, drumming.
Yeah, yeah.
He's 10 now and he's on his 4th kit. So
That's rad. Yeah, I've got like a little beater kit I've been piecing together, and she has like actually pretty good timing and stuff. So I figure start them as early as possible.
for sure.
But yeah, so they're a blast. That's a trip. I mean, you know, having kids, it's a whole other world. So it's never boring here. A lot going on. But yeah, just trying to find the time to do music is the only challenge in my life. So, like I said, sometimes it's just 5 minutes, but it's like the best 5 minutes of the day, because you really appreciate it. I was used to pissing my time away all the time in the past. So,
What
well,
lessons would you say that you have learned through being in a band and playing music that you might want to pass along to your kids or other kids who are just wanting to start a band or get out there and do something? Do you have a message?
um,
Anything you would tell your younger self?
don't do drugs. Oh, I don't know. Be patient. Be patient and persevere. Problem I had was not persevering when shit fell apart. So I would say, never give up. As cheesy as that sounds, but it's a simple message. Don't stop. Like it'll get better. Do what you know and just make sure you are enjoying it, I guess, because I think some people want to be in a band, but maybe they don't love it. But I would say just make sure you enjoy it and are patient and have empathy and understanding because a band is just like another funky ass dysfunctional family that you willingly create. So you got to figure out how to make that work. So
All right, Janice, I'll pass.
there's that.
You can get into shenanigans if you want now.
Oh, okay. All right. So we do a little segment we call Shenanigans, which is where we talk about a funny or traumatic experience you've had while touring, something, outlandish or crazy or scary, whatever you feel like telling us about.
And I would just like to pop in real quick and say, because I didn't say this at the beginning, and I need to say it at some point during the episode. All of our interviews are in honor to our team member Eric, who passed away recently, and this was his favorite question to ask people. He loved the traumatic tour stories. So if you have one of them, you can give us great. If not, give us something funny or whatever.
Um, shit. I guess waking up in I don't know, sometimes waking up in front of a 7-Eleven, not knowing how you got there, just asleep is one. Because someone just ran out of motivation for driving. That's not an exciting one. So we'll go with being in the van and sleeping on the bench seat in the back and noticing a box of CDs from a different record label than ours, and then opening it and finding a big shit in it that someone pranked us with. That was one. Traumatic. Okay, here's traumatic. We did a tour with Guttermouth in 96 or 7, and it was in the winter, and we had no heater, and we went all the way to the East Coast and up into Canada and had borderline hypothermia for a good portion of the trip. I
My
can't
God.
see it. I can't see your picture now.
Oh, I think
Oh, there you go.
Jess hit
Yeah,
it.
that was probably the most traumatic.
That's crazy. How do you even like? You can't use a defroster or anything, right? Like, how did you
We
drop?
tried everything. We tried putting like cardboard on the front of the grills, and we thought maybe that would help. Yeah, there's absolutely no heat, and like there would be frost on the inside of the windows while we were driving, and like if you weren't driving, you were in a sleeping bag all the way up to your neck with a beanie on, every jacket you had, and then the same tour, our transmission fell out in the middle of the road in Montreal. That was a disaster of a tour. We almost killed each other, but some really good music came out of it for the second record. But yeah, that was probably the most traumatic. Uh,
Yeah, that does not sound very pleasant. And I
um,
can imagine.
we did play at like a junkyard once, and we had these like gangster guys show up, and they just did not understand the vibe of punk music. So they were like throwing people, they were like throwing tires at people in the pit, like car tires. And then eventually one of them pulled out a gun and started shooting. Everyone had to duck and cover. That was kind of traumatic.
Yeah, that's like
Uh,
that might be the most traumatic story we've heard so far. Dear Lord.
it's like you would think that's a no-brainer, but the 6 weeks without heat is.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I know
That
the gun thing was worse, but
but
but that was
yeah.
over with quickly.
I was kind of
Yeah.
worried last week. We had a DIY show at a venue in Philly. We host shows too. And at the end of the night, there were like all these cars just like speeding by and they're out the roof and they're taking videos. And I'm like, holy shit, don't start shooting. I was really nervous. I'm like, where's my kid? He was inside. I was
Yeah.
happy. It was
Yeah.
kind of scary, but it really was nothing. Like the people that own the venue were like, they do this like every weekend and they never cause trouble. They're just having fun. And I'm like, oh.
But yeah, if you're not
Cool.
used to it, it was overwhelming. It was so loud. There were so many of them, and they just kept going and yelling and flipping us off. It was very, very strange.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh yeah.
I was busy looking for my kid to make sure he was not outside in case something went down.
Well,
There was another time coming home from Cheap Guy from practice. We had no ride. Back in the day, none of us had a car. So we all had skateboards though. So we skated home. I had a half stack, a Fender half stack with the head and my guitar on the front of a skateboard, skating home. Ricky had his bass amp on his guitar or on his skateboard. And we were kind of going through like a sketchy part, and we're at a stoplight, and all of a sudden, like this brick hits the ground right next to me, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I look, and there's like a cholo dude just hucking bricks at us, and we're like, oh fuck. And then at the same time, this like, I don't know, this pretty fly for a white guy kind of type guy drives by and starts throwing all kinds of gibberish at us, and we're like, we're gonna fucking die. And for some reason, we just kept going and nothing happened. But that was another like kind of gnarly one over by the La Sierra Meat Market back in the day. What else? That's those are the
Like you
those
could
are the
write,
ones. Say again.
sounds like you could write a book. You have a lot.
It's one of those ones I never know what to say, and then I think of one, and then I start remembering all this stuff. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with more. So that's all I got right now.
I have a couple
Yes.
of questions in the chat before we move on to the next segment. One, and these are both from David, which is the person from Colombia's name. Actually, they have three
Oh
questions.
yeah,
Do you know David?
I do.
Let's say hello.
Hello, David.
David wants to know if the concept of no time video clip, what was it, and why didn't you do more video clips?
The concept, the original one was going to be someone getting their hair cut into a mullet, because there was this dude that hung around us named Carmine, and he had a crazy mullet, and that was going to be the original one. And then we scrapped that, and someone came up with the idea of, what if you pretended your girlfriends were pregnant and they were drinking 40s and fighting? We're like, okay, I guess we'll go with that. So then we went with that concept, and we shot it in this town. Again, it's a very offensive name, but this place called Midgetville. It was a town for little people that was abandoned from back in the day, and we went and shot it there. Yeah, and it was just us being idiots all day there and filming until I think the cops came eventually and we had to leave. But I think that might have been Joe Escalante's idea, because his wife was one of the girls in the video.
So
You
it
know?
was just like a bunch of tiny abandoned houses?
Yeah. These are all 90s things, so I know like terminology and stuff is a little outdated, but that was like the gist of it there. So that was a fun one. It was odd though, because there was parts where we were playing and we had to do obviously like the lip sync thing and pretend that we were playing. That was weird, because then we had a group of people sitting right there in front of us, again, watching us, and I was like, I feel like a fucking idiot right now. So in the video you can kind of see we're just not trying to act like we're singing. I was like purposely trying to sing off of or move my mouth differently. I'll show them. So yeah, we did that. And that was the only video. And I don't know why we didn't do more. Things kind of snowballed and moved quickly with that band, especially in that era. It was like a period of like 5 or 6 years, and then it was kind of done. So
Is it something you can see yourself doing with new music?
yeah, I'm all for it. Yep. But you never know what's gonna happen. But I'm just gonna focus on music first and see
Yeah.
what happens. But it'll be a slow process, we're all out of state, or I'm out of state, so.
Right. David also wants to know if you ever recorded any live shows and it never made it to a live album, or you just never did that.
We recorded when we went to Japan, we recorded one of the shows there. I think it's on YouTube. You can find it, Assorted Jelly Beans in Japan. It was, I wish it was better, but it was on the last day of our tour and we were all fried. The performance was not great. Like, I think I screwed up in the very first part of the first song in the intro, so that was neat. And then it was good, but it could have been better. But for 2 weeks, they just followed us around and would film stuff here and there and put it all together. And then there was a live show at the end of it. But we never made like a live album. I would make one just because I think we're a better live band than in the studio, energy wise and stuff. That would have been fun, but I feel like live albums can go either way. Sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
ugh. I'll skip this one, So
Some really good ones, though.
yeah, I know for sure.
Tabby has that Japan tape and also has a question for you.
Okay.
I would like to know, did you guys ever have any ideas planned out for your album covers, or did you leave it all up to the artist? They want to know more about the thought process behind them because they're great.
The first one, I had a drawing that I was going to use, and I brought it to this girl, Mackie Osborne, who's like the wife of King Buzo from the Melvins. Um, and we showed up to her house, and I was like, "Well, I have this idea." She's like, "What do you want me to do with that?" So she was a graphic designer, and she put the first album together. If you look at it, they're all like little drawings from each song, kind of. And I thought it was awesome. Like I absolutely loved it. That was our sense of humor. you know, Stupid demonic stuff, playing records backwards and stuff. So that worked. The second one, like I kind of had the idea of like where the wild things are for the What's Really Going On album. I should have bought some water down here. So yeah, we worked with this guy, Marco Alamera, I think was his last name. That was interesting. He I worked with him and told him, something like where the wild things are, but make it more like modern and like what we're about. And he came up with these characters and he told me their names and stuff. And he had a whole world laid out for that album cover of all those characters.
Nice.
But he uh, he really liked money, so that was interesting. That one, but yeah, those were those two.
Yeah, grab some water. I can play a song for everyone real quick.
I'm in the basement. I'm all right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that's it on the artwork. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just had the two records, so I don't know. I mean, is anything else they want to know about it?
We'll see if they ask anything else, but let's see what else we had planned. Well, the one
Oh,
was why the Instagram recently popped up, but I think we know that now. You are available for shows to be booked and have some planned. And new music coming. Are there
yes.
any shows on your bucket list that you would want to play? Any certain bands you would want to play with?
Um, I know it's not the same genre, but I would really like to play with the OCs. That's probably one of my favorite modern bands. Trying to think who else. Elvis Costello, that would be on the list. The Damned. Damned is probably my favorite punk band. Um, well, I'd say Buzzcocks if they still had the original singer. I don't know. I'm a really big Chemical Brothers fan, so I would love to play with that, open for them. I don't see how that would work, but they're one of my favorite all-time bands or groups, acts, whatever. Um, I don't know. I guess I haven't put too much thought into that one. I would just like to play with some of the bands we used to play with, like that would be fun. The Vandals, Voodoo Glow Skulls, stuff like that would be cool. Suicide Machines, I'm very much looking forward to that.
I hope there ends up being more shows with them.
Me too. I mean, they're really active and
That'd be amazing.
yeah. Yeah, I'm all for it. So, I mean, I'm in an interesting position here where I can kind of just pick up and leave sometimes because I don't have like a solid job. So, but the other guys I know do. But so that would be tricky. It would probably be just like weekend things here and there, or like I said, festivals would make the most sense at least for a while.
Are
So,
you still hitting shows and active in the scene in Pittsburgh at all? Like going to shows?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen the Descendants. They've come through a couple times. Um, I saw Death Grips was fucking amazing. That's a band I would like to play with. They came through. I've been to a bunch of shows here, all by myself. I got into going to shows by myself. I don't really have any friends here, so I just go to shows by myself, which is kind of neat.
Any
You can leave whenever you want. It's
Right.
amazing.
You got to get out to some ska shows there because you always make friends at a ska show.
Yeah. No,
I
I
think
mean, I have some buddies here, but like for the most part, if I want to go to a show, I'll just go by myself.
we have a friend out there, Derek. He's a show promoter out there.
Okay.
Some guy nameless. You would find him by.
Okay.
He's affiliated with like the Pittsburgh Ska Group.
Okay. You have to send me that one.
Yeah, I will send it to you because then you can follow him for shows and
Uh,
whatnot.
yeah, I'm trying to get a band going here. So
Uh,
if anyone in the Pittsburgh area wants to play in the most amazing band ever, let me know.
are you familiar with the Code?
The Code?
Yeah, they're from Pittsburgh. They're a ska punk band.
I
They're
don't think.
and they're working on new music right now. They're not like the most active as far as touring and stuff goes, but you
Hmm.
can get out there and play some shows.
Nice. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for them.
I'll send you all the Pittsburgh goods.
That'd be great. Yeah,
uh,
the thing is, like, a lot of bands skip Pittsburgh and they either go to Philly or they go to Ohio. So
right.
I want to build up, the
You know,
scene here more.
a lot of
This
bands are
place is badass. There's so many places to play here, so it's like, yeah,
there's a lot of bands skipping Philly these days too. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons we started doing shows. Like we were tired of asking people to bring our friends here, so we are like, you know what, we're just gonna fucking do it. And they're just small, intimate room shows, and we get people through here to play their first shows in Philly, and it's great. But I would like to
Nice.
see it grow for sure. Like Dropkick Murphys just came, and they didn't come to Philly, and they always came to Philly, and it's like we're
Mhm.
really getting skipped now. So
Thanks. That's a bummer.
yeah, it's okay.
What
I mean,
did they do? They did like Wilkes-Barre instead, right? Like I guess it's hard because Pennsylvania is so big, and if you have fans in different areas, you don't want to ignore them every time, and maybe you can't hit every place. So I get where it could be hard, especially in a state like Pennsylvania that takes like 6 hours to drive across. Like you kind of got to pick. I feel like they
Yeah,
go back and forth a little bit.
yeah.
But like Philly and Scranton has a pretty happening scene now, so I think they're kind of like stealing some of the shows up that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never been. I mean, I only ever think of The Office. Is that a cool town?
it's a little town, and they have some good shows up there. We
They,
went.
Okay.
yeah.
We
I,
had
I love it up there. It's pretty and it's got a good scene for being in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, Pennsylvania is beautiful. If it wasn't for all the fucking fracking and coal mining and all that bullshit, this place is like really beautiful.
what brought you to Pennsylvania anyway?
My wife's work,
Uh,
we moved from Colorado. She works for Dick's Sporting Goods,
you said that, yeah.
working for Dick's.
Where can
So
we predict? I'd like to hear it.
yeah, there's no way to say that without it being weird. So you just got to embrace it.
That's great. Crap, I was saying something and now I forget. We have another question in the chat from Tabby. Do you remember any of the names he gave? Oh, that must have been related to something else. And I missed that question. I'm so sorry, Tabby. I'm not sure what
The
that
names, like aliases I've had.
it just says, do you remember any of the names he gave? So, oh, maybe he's asking for the names of your artist.
Name and fake numbers.
Essentially the artist for the album, because I think that's what they were asking about. So I can
For the artists for the artwork. Yeah, it was Mackie Osborne and Marco Alamero.
all right.
Yeah.
My husband's out there screaming the Flyers are playing, and it's like the first time in the playoffs in 6 years. So if you hear screaming, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, they're having the draft thing here. It's
Oh, are they?
yeah, I could really care less, but there's a big football thing happening here right now.
Oh, this is hockey. They're playing against the Penguins right now, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh
So,
yeah, the Flyers.
Yeah.
Unless it's
I can't
soccer, I
keep
don't really know shit about sports.
up.
I like soccer, but that's about it.
They really wanted to know the names of the monster creatures on the What's Really Going On cover. That was the name thing.
The one there's a goofy looking one he called the Genius. He was the kind of dim looking one. I don't remember the other names. I'd have to look at it. But
You have the genius.
the Genius.
You can make like a video clip about it and share it at some point.
Yeah, we could have made like a little series out of that. I mean, it was fun. That was a like he really got into it. It ended up getting weird because I was working with him and he kept asking me for more money. And I was like, sure. And it wasn't my money. It was like the label's money. I was like, yeah, I guess so. I guess that's cool. But finally Joe had to call and be like, dude, you gotta stop taking advantage of these guys because I think that's what was happening. But a little bit.
Um,
Anyways.
David is also mentioning that you were recently honored in a museum at Riverside. Was that the one that had the Voodoo Glow Skulls exhibit as well?
Yeah, it was the 60 miles east.
Yeah. We just talked about,
Travis Barker kind of helped fund that and put it together.
he's asking how you felt about being recognized there.
It was, again, it was emotional. It was fucking awesome. I
Yeah,
mean, they had a whole section of a wall with just our stuff on it.
oh, that's so cool.
It was, I was honored. It was so cool. It was, yeah. And like I said, like you do something a long ass time ago
Hmm.
and then it resurfaces and like people still remember and it's just like very humbling. It's cool.
Right. I know
Uh,
Eddie last week they're looking for like a more permanent location potentially for.
yeah, yeah, which would be rad. Yeah, they're really like giving it another go. I mean, the sense I got is they kind of want it to be how it was in the 90s. Just the hub. It used to be a hub. Everyone played there,
Right.
which was ironic because everyone kind of made fun of Riverside, but like everyone wanted to play there because it was happening. That's where all the shit was happening. So Pittsburgh, it was Riverside's kind of like a Pittsburgh where people kind of like talk shit a little bit. It's very blue collar and stuff, but that's killer music scene.
The last part of my scene question was, are there any newer up and coming bands that you've been digging these days that you can share with our listeners that they might not know about?
Um,
Doesn't have to be ska. I mean, we
yeah.
find, like, you know,
Um, I'm drawing a blank. I, I really not. I really don't have anything offhand right now.
Janice, you have anything? How about you?
I like Ceremony. You know the band Ceremony. They're not really up and coming. I've been listening to them a lot.
New bands that I love, bands that I want to promote. I
Yeah, go
have tons
for
of
it.
those. They're not all ska. I mean,
Okay.
there's owned by assholes who are going to be coming into town for us in what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks,
Next
May
Saturday.
next. Oh my God, yeah, that's May 2nd. They'll be coming out. They're from out in PA, and they have a little ska punk going on. They're very fun. I am so excited to get to see them.
What was their name? Sorry.
Owned by assholes.
Oh, okay.
I love that name. I think it's so fun.
They're like in the middle of the state, so they're kind of like in between you and us, probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would that
Oh,
even be?
and
Like Hershey or something?
They're not
college,
far from State
State
College,
College.
Okay.
Yeah.
where Penn State is. Um,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, and I wanted
Car Bomb
oh,
Parade.
car bomb. Yeah.
Give them a shout out. They're from New York.
Um,
They're not ska at all.
Yeah.
They're like hardcore punk, but they're amazing. And we're getting them for their first Philly show in a week and a half.
Nice.
It'll be right. You should check them out. Is there anything that we didn't ask you that you want to tell people about? Anything that's happened?
Um,
Share.
I can't really think of anything. Just I guess it's going to be slow going. We just started an Instagram and
Hmm.
are getting active again. So I guess I would just tell, excuse me, tell people to be patient. And we are working at becoming a real band again. So,
That's awesome news.
and the goal is to make new music, and be relevant and current. So that's my goal at least. And I'm pretty sure I can speak for the dudes as well. So we all want to make new music, but play the old stuff.
Are
But
you
yeah,
still,
just be patient because we're working on it, and yeah,
you were going to have drumming for? Are you still going to be a three-piece?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd always be open to playing with other musicians too, but yeah, a three piece.
There you go, Janice. Other musician.
Am I missing something?
What are you talking about? You can ask the question about other musicians.
Oh, wait, didn't we already talk about the ones who we wanted to work with?
No. Do you have any bands or
Oh,
artists that you like that collaborating with would be a dream?
uh,
um, oh, I kind of drawn a blank.
I always put people on the spot with that one.
I don't know. Like I said, if we're reaching for the stars, I really love the band Death Grips. I think it'd be awesome to do something with that band. I don't see it happening, but whatever. If we're making a wish list,
I'm not familiar,
excuse me.
not familiar with them.
I mean, if you're interested, you should check it out. No one really sounds like them. They're a three piece. It's kind of kind of hip hop, but their energy is like early like Black Flag punk, but it's not punk. I don't know, but it is. There's a vague answer for you, but they're super exciting.
Janice, you have anything else?
should we do a couple quick categories?
All right, go for it.
Okay, so categories, we just ask a couple quick, random, strange questions and see what you have for us. So, in honor of Eric, our teammate who passed away, I'm going to ask his favorite question first, which is if you could be any farm animal, what would you be?
Farm animal. Um, I don't know, I kind of like the donkeys because they're the protectors. They kind of watch out over all the other animals. But if we're really going animals in general, I would be an elephant. I think that's the greatest animal on earth.
That's true. That would be cool. That's like almost a dinosaur.
I like
Almost.
the color green too. So yeah. What
Very cool.
else? What do you
Okay.
got? What
All
do you
right.
got?
Okay. So, do you remember the first album you ever bought with your own money?
Yeah, I was probably at the Mad Platter, this record store in Riverside. What would it have been? I don't know. They used to have like 50 cent tapes and stuff. So not the artist 50 Cent, but really cheap tapes. I don't know. That's a hard one. It might have been the Sex Pistols actually. I was like, I saw that album cover and like I was drawn to it. I think I bought that. That might have been with my own money. But I would, if I wanted something, I went out and worked. Like I would wash all the cars in my neighborhood if I needed to buy a tape or a record. I would just go door to door back when you could do that, or mow people's lawns. And when I had enough money, I'd go to Mad Platter, the record store, and buy something. But I can't really remember what the first one was. It might have been the Sex Pistols. It's not
Okay.
super exciting, I guess, but
I mean, I don't think first albums usually are. It's like, the gateway drug to the next things. What is the strangest place you have ever woken up?
um, uh, I don't know that one.
I mean, I know earlier you had mentioned like waking up in the van in the 7-Eleven parking lot and having no idea where you are. So that
I mean,
kind
those
of
were probably
sort
the
of
most
covered it.
those are probably the most jarring. Or we'd wake up, someone would wake me up and would be like, "We're at some stranger's house. Let's go." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So moments like that, but I don't know about any one particular one.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry,
You
I'm
don't
not
have an
super
answer.
exciting, I guess.
That's okay. Um, and if you could play a show at any venue, anywhere in the world, or a fictional venue, where would you play? Like you could play in the Shire, you could play at Red Rocks, you could play anywhere in your imagination. Where would you want the show to be?
Oh, maybe in Gollum's cave. That seems like it would have really good acoustics.
I think you're right.
That's just
Make it happen.
for an actual place. I think it would be cool to play Red Rocks. Never, never played there.
Somebody did point out to me recently that when bands play Red Rocks, it's like impossible to have a pit.
Oh
I don't,
yeah, yeah, because it's like all
but
stadium seating, kind of.
so beautiful. Like,
Oh, gorgeous.
So yeah,
That's
either Red Rocks or Gollum's cave. One of those two, I guess.
I mean, they're pretty similar, I think.
Maybe a mix of the two.
All right. Well, thank you. That's all I have for categories for today. So
I don't have
okay.
anything else. I found out everything I wanted to know very early in this episode.
I know, right?
We know everything we know about you already. Thank you. We're good.
I will, yeah, I will see you somewhere soon, whether it's Detroit or Philly or somewhere. I'm just excited about it
Yeah,
because I never got to see you play live. So, yeah. Have you ever played Philly?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember where we played, but we used to go through there on tour.
I think it would have been like right before I started going to shows myself or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I remember it was a cool town. Um, I don't remember where we played. What are some of the big clubs there, or
um,
older clubs?
Wow.
back in the day, we had the Truck.
Electric
How big
Factory.
we're talking the Electric Factory is now Franklin Music Hall. There's always been the TLA on South Street. What else? If we go smaller than that, we could talk like the Khyber was like a big spot for like bands coming through for the first time. I don't know.
Okay.
None of it
Did we
sounds
say
familiar.
Union Transfer? Has Union Transfer been
Oh
around
my
for a bit?
gosh, have you played the church? Was
The
it the church?
church.
Everybody knows the church in Philly.
I don't know if we played there.
Yeah. The church is like a basement of a church, and it's very hot, really,
Hmm.
really fucking hot. And it's bring your own alcohol, and it's just very DIY and awesome. Like everybody always liked to play the church, and I've been to a million shows there.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Um,
it is so hot that the walls sweat, which kind of freaks me out.
yeah, it didn't really like bother me when I was younger, but now I'm like,
Sounds a little gnarly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I can see that.
I just saw Madball play there a few months back, and I was like, oh my gosh, this place is terrible.
Yeah, you got to put on like a hazmat suit or something. Some of those venues.
But it's a good time. It's an iconic venue, so going there is always like that. There's nostalgia just with going to this place. So
Sure.
see bands play there again is cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like going to Gilman Street or something like.
Right, exactly. Well, if you are you reading the chat on YouTube? If not, I'll read you a couple nice things people said, and I guess we'll wrap this up.
I'm not.
So David says that people still remember and listen to your albums, at least here in his country. He wants to thank you for all the beautiful music and rhythms that made the soundtrack when he was growing up. You guys are the best. Thanks for everything. And that's really nice. And Tabby seconds that, says you guys rock and you absolutely still have an audience. And I'm gonna third that. So
You guys are very sweet. Thank you.
yeah. I mean, when we were telling our friends that we were doing this interview, and it was actually we talked about Eric, our teammate that passed away. When you guys started following us, like right away, I was like, "Holy shit!" Assorted Jelly Beans just started following us, and like we have tons of bands that follow us, but there was something about that I had to share with him, and he was like, "Go get that interview, girl," and we got it, but I didn't get to tell him because it was gone by the time you answered us. But he would be very, very proud.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was sudden and it's a big loss, but we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna keep this going for him. He was like my regular co-host, so he and I did every episode for the most part.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw him in a lot of the stuff on your page.
So this weekend's gonna be like, a big family reunion type thing, and we'll celebrate him together and mourn him together and all those things.
Yeah, good. That's what you got to do. I mean,
I will share his message because we want to share his message at the end of every episode. And I was doing it via video, but I didn't prepare myself once again. So he always liked to say, if you want to have a scene, you have to be the scene. Like you have to get out there to the shows, you have to buy the merch, you have to support the bands, do the things, and
yep,
otherwise you're not going to have a scene. And it's like the most important message for people who do want to see the scene grow and want these bands to come back and play for us. And we're going to try to carry that message out for them.
that's great. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
So I'm going to end this on that if you want to hang out for 1 minute.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for watching and chatting.
Thanks, guys.
And
Stay tuned.
just if you missed any of the episode, I should say this will be published on Spotify and Apple Podcasts within